Hey everybody, Kyle here. I've been watching my own videos on YouTube and reacting to them and filming those and posting those on YouTube because that's what I do for kicks now. So the next two videos are sort of a two-parter, and since I recorded an intro, I'm going to combine this into one long video, and then the numbers between the two channels will be the same. Alright, so part 1 of 2, Kyle Walks Around Jincheon. This was, 822 views. Part 2 only has 322. This video has a lot of sentimental for me. Oh, wow.
I've been living here in Jincheon for about 4 months now, and I thought I would show you.
Stop eating the ice cream! You can, oh man, you can tell I put on a few, which is odd because I think I lost something like 40 pounds by the time I came back from Korea. Yeah, staircase. There's supposed to be a restaurant where you eat actual dog in my building or across from my building, but I never went there. That was the first apartment I had without a toilet.
Don't live there anymore. I've got a new place. It's about 3 times bigger. If you look at Nate's window and cross,
yeah, we were, I lived there, Nate lives there, there was another building between us, but there was still like a short walk through a back alley, so it was less than 2 minutes. Yeah, the dog restaurant looked really run down. Jincheon, J. Ray, Shi, Jang? I don't know.
J. Ray, Shi, Chang.
Jang, not Chang, Kyle, that's a J. Well, Korean J, sort of. Yeah, so shortly outside of that little cluster of buildings, there was that really gross-looking parking lot, and then there was a swamp. The caution tape wasn't always there, that just happened when I was recording. Pedestrian bridges, which were so handy. That saved me like 10 minutes on my walk to work, that little bridge.
Going up this ramp and walking down that street.
I remember that. That was my lighthouse when I was walking around town.
Know right where I live. This guy makes marble and granite tombs.
One thing I really enjoyed about living in Korea. You saw a lot of fabricators and builders and people making stuff with their hands, but they weren't doing it inside studios and stuff. It was kind of out in the open, like you could see people working, and it was just you don't see that here, and I like it.
Lots of fun, strange food things I can't identify.
Yeah, that's. I'd like to point out.
This is downtown Jincheon.
It looks fairly developed and built up, to me at least. And this is a small town.
So a lot of development for a fairly small town. Next, I
think at the time Jincheon was maybe 5,000 people or so. Like, it was a very small town. It's like downtown core, and then farm, and then country. You don't have the endless suburban sprawl like we get here, which I hate that element of North American society and urban planning.
Jincheon Office of Education. So this is the building where all my bosses work. Part of Jincheon I've never been to before. Alright, now I'm thoroughly lost. Although this detail on the building leads me to believe I may have entered Quebec.
Yeah, it's got that French weird shape thing that Quebecers put on their flag.
The roof is really
I like buildings like that are unusual.
It's like a sunroof or greenhouse or something for people to live. I don't know where I am. This part of town is kind of creepy.
I did go back there quite a bit more and eventually get to know that area of town, but it's a lot more ad hoc. It really seems like North America, you start with this plan of where things go and then just things go there. Well, where this really feels like a bunch of people built a few buildings, and then they built buildings attached to them, and then they built other buildings close to them, and then they started connecting them, and it's all just kind of spattered all over the place, and weird angles and spirals and stuff. So it's really, really neat. Everything is like a weird back alley.
I found a forest.
Yeah, this is sort of the outskirts where rapid development was happening.
Street
And that stadium was insane how huge it was.
Come on. Say I can walk. Tell me it's safe to walk.
Yeah, they don't have the hands there, they just have a person standing and a person walking.
Anytime soon, are you? This is the Jincheon
Civic Center was on the same property as the soccer stadium. They kind of, yeah.
So, nice bronze sculpture. And behind it is an interesting sculpture. I don't want to tell you what I think it sort of looks like.
A penis!
But it's interesting in a children's playground. Jincheon Complex Stadium, as opposed to the Jincheon Simple Stadium. Very nice looking building. Let's see what's behind it. Oh wow. Now that is a perfect small-town soccer field.
Wasn't actually surprised there. I had been there before. This was actually very close to that hiking trail that I used to go on every Sunday.
For a town about the size of Newmarket.
Get a tripod, you hack!
Giant metal statue or sculpture. Looks really cool, very shiny. I like shiny things, I like sculptures. I'm happy to see this for 2 reasons.
Oh, I edited out a Command & Conquer reference there.
Oh, awesome. Please tell me that's a Jumbotron. Oh wow, it actually is.
Yeah, the kind of infrastructural development things like stadiums and lights and parks and public art, the stuff that in North America is only limited to big cities, there is rather common in small towns. I mean, it's interesting to me because the town I grew up in had about the same population as Jincheon while I was there, but just to see the difference in cultural and development and just it's a really interesting comparison. I'm very glad I actually went to a small town that's about the same size as what I grew up in, because if I was just like plopped down in a big city it would be very apples and oranges, but this is more apples to Korean apples. This was the park that I always hiked along. Beautiful view. I totally painted that.
It's a big forest.
I'm still out of shape at this point.
Ooh, a bench. I really wish that the forests in Canada could benches like this one.
When I first started, I would have to sit on that bench and have a 5-minute break pretty much every time I did the hike. About halfway through my time in Korea, I would do it without the bench, and towards the end, I would actually kind of jog through the whole trail, so I really, yeah, it's amazing what regular exercise does for your health. I'd recommend it.
It's really nice. I guess you can have picnics in the wild and have it feel like you're inside. We've got a giant hula hoop, a nice clock.
Oh yeah, just middle of the forest. Gym equipment. No surveillance cameras, no park, no high visibility, just if you want to exercise, you have to go up about, you know, half a kilometer vertically of hiking up a mountain to get to the exercise equipment. I don't know what any exercise equipment is, but this wheel looks awesome.
This thing is really fun. You get up on here and run. It's sort of like a hamster wheel for people.
I've got no balance. I never once got that thing to work. I did fall off it a whole lot.
It's just shooting out of the stem or the trunk. It's weird, there's no branches. It's just trunk and needles. This tree has a cookie. Here's the forest. And well, here's where the world just sort of ends.
There's a lot of humidity, so probably 3/4 of the time there'd be enough fog and haze that it really did just look like this white void that I was looking into, like wandering off into the abyss. It was really interesting. Alright, oh, Kyle Walks Around Jincheon Part 2. YouTube's auto cue is actually working this time. Okay, and go.
Okay, not only do I appear to be at the edge of the world where it just turns into a big void, but I'm also up at the top of a mountain with an expensive camcorder, and I hear thunder in the background. So I'm about 2 hours away from home.
Right. Oh, I forgot about this.
I don't get wet.
I was...
The dirt here is a really rich red color.
It's
almost
such
like
a nice, beautiful burnt sienna.
PEI or Thunder Bay. Almost looks like blood. Still tastes like dirt.
It didn't taste like blood despite
Korea,
the look.
Wherever you go, there's always some construction going on somewhere.
Actually, Toronto's a lot like that too. But yeah, like the development in Korea was,
Swing set, yay, swing!
I don't know how to describe it. Just this, the cranes, the construction. It seems like they can put up a building in 2 months. What would take us years?
Stereotype that Asians
ridiculous.
are short people and all, but this is a little ridiculous.
Calm down, people. This was 8 years ago. People weren't offended by every little quip, so
people can just sort of
ignore that swing joke.
Mountain, and if that's not enough of a workout, they can pull up to one of these metal contraptions and lift some weights. Very interesting. Well-maintained equipment also.
It's actually kind of weird. I moved 11 months ago, and I didn't see that camcorder anywhere. I have no idea where it went. This looks like a penis.
Some playground equipment. Don't know about you, but Korean slides look way more fun than our Canadian slides. This is what a water fountain looks like.
Such a good idea. Why do we only have the one fountain? Make an array so people can drink in parallel. It makes so much sense.
There are many faucets to choose from. PC bong. That means
computer room.
PC room. So, Rolling Stone.
Yeah. Oh, the sentimental.
This is the bar where I go drinking every Friday. Another
I could go in with a group of 4 people. We could drink our faces off, and then at the end of the night, the tab would be like $25-30. Oh, Windows Media Maker transition. Okay, well, that was Kyle Walks Around Jincheon. Oh. And after this, more eating weird stuff, but that can come another day. Till next time, I'm Kyle. Keep watching me.